The Cowboys are 4-1 for the first time since 2016 after a 44-20 win over the New York Giants in Week 5 of the NFL season. And as Week 6 fast approaches, the Cowboys will look for their first win over the New England Patriots since 1996. Welcome in the special edition here from the Star in Frisco alongside Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, Nate Newton, all three former Cowboys. I'm Kyle Yeomans, where, gentlemen, I'm going to make things tough on you early on. This is the toughest opening question I've ever asked you guys on this show. How or who do you look to and who do you give the credit to for the Cowboys' strong start here in 2021?
I am going to give the good old credit to everybody. Okay. I mean, everybody gets the credit today. The reason why everybody gets the credit is because these guys have come in and bought in. These guys have made the commitment not only to adopt this new defense with Dan Quinn, but they've also put the time in coming off of last year's COVID season to obviously come in, get the reps, do OTA, do training camp, come out of this thing better, a tighter knit unit, and these guys are also obviously making some plays.
Yeah, they're making some plays. And for me, I'm a little bit biased, being a defender, how long I was, but I'm going to have to go on the defensive side of the football. I mean, these guys are flying around. I have yet to see a defense be able to make a 180 like this from how bad they were last year to how, I won't say dominant, but they're taking the football away from a lot of teams and they're giving it back to their offense to make plays out there. So kudos to Dan Quinn. Those guys are flying around.
I want to say Will McClay and his scouting staff and the defense along with the offense. Everybody bought in. We knew what we needed to do, and we needed to do it defensively. We've done it. Everybody's playing their role and doing their part, thanks to Coach Quinn and those guys. I think everybody plays a part from upper management down to the kicker.
And since I made things tough on you, I'll even answer it as well. How about Dak Prescott and the return of QB1 and really number 4 behind center has been playing exceptionally well, leading a top 2 offense in the NFL at the moment. But what has made him so successful this year?
Decision making. I think he's learned to trust his teammates. He's been blessed to be surrounded by a bunch of playmakers and a great offensive coordinator that's putting him in position to be successful. And he's actually trusting these guys and putting them in positions to make the plays, alleviating the stress off of himself, allowing his playmakers to do what they do.
Yeah, Dak he's being super efficient out there. I mean, 22 of 32 out there, 300, a couple touchdowns as well. He's starting to creep into that elite quarterback status too. No matter who's out there, no matter who's the opponent, the Cowboys offense has an opportunity to dominate out there. And then you combine that with how Kellen Moore's been able to play calls basically this whole season. This is a match made in heaven, Nate.
Not to repeat, man, Dak is the man. He's the mechanic. He knows what needs to be done with the offense at what times. He helps the defense. He's playing complementary football, helping the defense, the special teams. This guy's just a pure leader.
The Cowboys with over 300 passing yards and 200 rushing yards for the first time in a single game since 1983. This rushing attack has been pretty much unstoppable. Is this the best rushing attack in the NFC right now?
I believe so. I mean, this double-headed monster that we have is they're strong. Obviously, they have their advantages that they have in terms of Zeke being a downhill back, Pollard being a nice little changeup, but they're both being successful, and a huge testament to Coach Tillman and the offensive line.
Look, both of these guys are top 10 in the National Football League in rushing right now. I don't think Dallas has ever had a duo like this in history. I mean, you got Zeke who can ground and pound a defense to submission, and then you got Tony Pollard who's hitting the hole like a flash of lightning. And what they're doing is they're putting the league on notice that you better bring your hard hat, you better be able to play when you come play the Dallas Cowboys, because these guys are both at a high level right now.
And what you want to see is you go back and look at film, these guys last week did a lot of pulling. They got the guards out, they got the center out, they cut the defense at certain places. So they're an athletic group, and for the first time this year, you see a lot of that with the offensive line. Hats off to Coach Philman. Keep banging, Zeke.
And this one's just for Barry because the defense does have 12 takeaways and 9 straight games with multiple turnovers forced. How well have they been playing so far?
Look, I'm starting to think Dan Quinn was the best free agent acquisition this offseason. I mean, whatever he's preaching to these guys, they are believing. They're flying around in the football, and most importantly, they're taking the football away. And to me, that's a recipe for success.
And it has been successful through this first start of the season, and really against the run has been where that defense has been most improved. When we come back here on Special Edition, what does Stephen Jones have to say about the confidence and the unselfishness surrounding this Cowboys team?
Special Edition, presented by AT&T, is brought to you by Ford. Built for Texas, built for you. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Salvation Army, doing the most good. and by AT&T. This segment is brought to you by the Texas Lottery. Play the new Gym 7 scratch tickets. There's a Gym 7 scratch ticket for everyone, so play today.
Cowboys Chief Operating Officer Stephen Jones must be a happy man at this time of year. The Cowboys are 4-1, and they've been playing complimentary football, which is something this front office has been searching for quite some time now. And Stephen Jones sits down with our very own Nick Eatman.
Hey, Cowboy Nations, I'm Nick Eatman along with Stephen Jones, Cowboys Chief Operating Officer. Stephen, things are rolling right now. I mean, I don't know any other way to say it. I mean, 4 straight games of wins. Just tell me, what is it like to be walking around? I mean, you're always a positive person anyways, but when it's 4-1 and the way you guys are winning, it's got to be even more special.
Well, it is. I must say, hats off to Coach McCarthy, to our coaching staff, to our players. They're playing at a high level. And certainly you want to continue to improve upon what we've done up to this point, which, believe it or not, I think we can. Even though we're playing at a high level, I really do think there's a lot of room for improvement with this young football team. But I know they've been doing it around here. We've had a coach here before whose famous line is, "Don't take the cheese," right, because there's a mousetrap in there somewhere. And I do think with our leadership, both at a coaching staff level as well as Dak and the leaders we have on this team, Randy Gregory, Leighton Vander Esch, Kazee, the whole group back there, Diggs, is playing with a swagger, and they want to come to work every day. We have a lot of depth on this team. We know there's players that are on reserve lists right now that are going to be coming back, and everybody knows they need to be at practice every week working, or they may not be out on the field that particular week. But we need them all, but it is great to have a great start. Of course, we probably went against the greatest quarterback of all time first week in Tom Brady, and now we're going against one of the all-time great coaches, and Coach Belichick. So we're going to have our hands full. We're going to need a great week of practice, and going up to a hostile environment up there in New England, we've got our work cut out for us.
We were just looking at that a few minutes ago before you came on. New England's one of the very few places that I don't believe that you guys have won since Jerry bought the team and you guys have been a part of the Cowboys. There's been a few games, don't play all the time, but what makes it such a tough place other than just, like you said, the combination of great coach, great quarterback?
Well, that's the biggest thing. Coach Belichick and Tom Brady have been up there for many, 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 many years and been around a long time, and they're hard to beat up, especially on their home turf. But on top of that, it's a unique place up there in New England, and certainly the fans love their Patriots, and it's a challenge when you go up there. So hopefully we can turn the tide now, but we'll have our work cut out for us.
You talked about leadership, and to me, one of the things that I just keep pointing out is unbelievable is how unselfish the team is, especially on offense. Everybody wants the ball, everybody wants the stats, but it seems like the focus is more about just getting the job done, and if it's my week, it's my week.
Yeah, I think it starts with Dak. He's supreme leader out there, and he understands if we need to run it more than we throw it, and that's best for our winning formula, if you will, for that particular week, then he's all in, and he certainly, you feel that from him out on the field all week. It certainly, I think, then works into Zeke, works into the receiving core, works into our tight end group, works into the offensive line, and then it goes on over to the defensive side of the ball where everybody's I think one of the great things about our defense right now is we're keeping people fresh. I mean, that defensive line's rotating, which is a great thing when you got 8 guys in rotation. They feel good at the end of the game to get pressure on the quarterback. So I really do think this is an unselfish team that's very focused on the ultimate goal, which is winning each week. And ultimately, if we do that and we take care of business each and every week, then good things will happen toward the end of the season.
All right, we'll see if the Cowboys can get that win, like you said, and get to 5-1 going into the bye week. That's Stephen Jones, Cowboys Chief Operating Officer.
Thanks so much, Nick. You can catch the entire interview with Stephen Jones, presented by Nationwide, on DallasCowboys.com. When we come back here on Special Edition, can the Cowboys out-scheme the schemer and beat Bill Belichick for the first time since he took over as head coach with the Patriots?
This segment was brought to you by the Texas Lottery. This segment is brought to you by Ford. Built for Texas, built for you.
The Dallas Cowboys have not defeated the New England Patriots in New England, in Foxborough, since 1987. They also haven't had a winning or a better record than the Patriots entering a meeting since 1981. And guess who was on the team in both of those matchups? That man down there at the far end of the corner.
Fat man.
No, that's not what I was going to say. But, hey, you were a part of the team the last time the Cowboys won against the Patriots on the road, and they'll look to do that again this week against a guy like Bill Belichick, who they haven't beaten as the head coach of the Patriots, nor have they beaten him since his first NFL game as head coach. That was back when he was with the Cleveland Browns. But, Isaiah, you played for Bill Belichick. What does he do so well, and how does he have Dallas's numbers so efficiently?
Preparation. That's what this man is. If there's a picture of preparation in the dictionary, his picture would be right next to it, without a smile, obviously. But he does a great job of just getting his guys prepared. He watches more film than any other human being probably on earth. The situations that he puts you in practice leading up to the games. He puts you have tests on the airplane coming in, whether you're leaving or whether you're in the building. Doesn't matter. He just makes sure that your mind is prepared for anything that the opponent can present.
Yeah, I think it comes down to his genius on the defensive side of the football. I mean, when you go against Belichick, he always takes away what you do best, and he forces you to try to beat him some other way. But this matchup coming up is going to be tough for Bill, in our opinion, because if you try to stack the box, we already know Dak Prescott, is more than capable of dicing a defense out there. Just look at that Tampa Bay footage. And if you try to, back off and play coverage, we got two studs in the backfield that can run it down your throat. So to me, the advantage goes to Dallas this week, but it's going to be tough for Bill Belichick and the Patriots.
We can say what we want, man. The weather, Foxborough, the jinx up there, whatever it may be, Bill Belichick is going to find a way to take away something that we are not thought of. So, Dallas, be ready and be prepared, man.
And he's rolling with a rookie quarterback for the first time, or only the second time since Drew Bledsoe back in 1993. So, what has Mac Jones done so far this year? He's looking like a franchise quarterback, but what has he done to impress you?
Decision-making in his poise. This young man, obviously being a rookie, guys are going to try to heat him up. He is unbothered. He has Tom Brady-esque pocket presence. He obviously hasn't had the success in terms of touchdowns statistically, but he is, one of the league's best in terms of completion percentage. So he's not making a lot of mistakes, 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, but 71% completion rate. He is doing the right things, and eventually it's going to click. Let's just hope it's not against us.
I think you're exactly right. I mean, his decision-making process in the pocket is great back there right now. He's getting the ball out of his hands quick, and he's letting his playmakers go out there in space and let them do damage. He's not sitting there holding on to the ball, getting sacked, fumbling the ball like that. He has a couple interceptions, but for the most part, he's been on point. And as a rookie, I think he has been playing the best out of all these quarterbacks so far.
When you look at Bill Belichick and how he tries to do things, he does it in steps and increments, and that's what he's doing with this young guy. Josh Daniels has been holding back, trying to probably dictating where he throw the ball, but sooner or later, like Isaiah said, the light's going to come on, but not this week.
Barry, really quickly, is Matthew Judon on that second level of the New England defense the biggest threat to this Dallas momentum?
Look, Matt Judon is a dog, plain and simple. I mean, this guy gets after the quarterback at a high rate, and he's just as good against the run. So, Terrence Steele, you're going to have to bring your A game out there. You guys remember the Terrence Steele that showed out against Joey Bosa?
Yeah.
I'm going to need that same guy when you go against Matt Judon this Sunday, without a doubt.
Terrence Steele's going to have a tough task against it because this Patriots defense is big. They are physical. And there are some more matchups we're going to talk about with the Patriots defense, but can the Cowboys limit the Patriots tight ends? Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith when we return on Special Edition.
This segment was brought to you by Ford. Built for Texas, built for you. This segment is brought to you by AT&T.
It may not be Troy Aikman and Drew Bledsoe or Tony Romo against Tom Brady, but there are some pretty juicy matchups in Week 6 as the Dallas Cowboys travel to New England to take on the Patriots. Nate Newton, I'm going to let you start off. Since you were the last team to beat the Patriots in Foxborough, I'll let you have that high honor. What's the matchup you have your eye on?
Matt Judon against our whole offensive line. He's going to move everywhere. He's an outside linebacker that can do damage. He's had 5.5 sacks in the last 3 games. He's on fire. We'll have to know who he's at. And watch out for Dietrich Wise, number 91. Long arms, big old dude, man. He can play.
Where does this defense compare to the defenses the Cowboys have seen so far?
In the middle. They gave up 371 yards a game. What they were hurting at is they give up a lot of rush yards in 111, so we can hurt them there, but they'll try to take away the run first.
They're definitely going to try and do that. The Cowboys, by the way, could be the first team to score 35-plus points and rush for 150 yards in 3 straight weeks since the 1965 Minnesota Vikings. So some pretty good numbers on the line for this Cowboys offense. What's your matchup, though, Bear?
So for me, my matchup, I got the 2 tight ends, Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry versus our linebacker core. Whoever it may be, Keanu Neal, young Cox out there, right. LVE, whoever it may be, we got to get our hands on these guys. It can't be any free releases, especially when you get into the red zone, because that's when these guys come alive. And seeing as though they don't have really any deep threats on the outside as where the receiver is concerned, and our corners are playing pretty well, I see these tight ends getting a lot of targets, so this should be a matchup to keep your eye on.
Against the linebackers?
Of course.
Listen up, y'all. I'm going to throw a little pumpkin spice on this.
You disagreeing with Juan? You disagreeing with me? Oh, my, here we go. Here we go.
I'm going to take the same match of the tight ends, but I'm going to say that we can't guard them with linebackers. You better bring Kirsch from the secondary. The reason why, this dude, Henry and Smith, are accounting for 25% of the pass attempts on this team. And when the ball gets to Henry, guess what? He's catching over 70% of the targets that are coming his way. So if you try to guard these guys with linebackers, they will get disrespected and disinfected. So make sure that you bring it from the secondary and you guard these guys and take these guys out the game.
So you guys are saying it's still the tight ends that are going to play a big factor for New England. It's just disagreeing on how you're going to cover them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad about that. Being a safety, I should have represented for the safety crew, but linebackers staying tall, all right?
How about Isaiah calling you out on that?
Yeah, but pumpkin spice? Clam chowder maybe. Pumpkin spice? Nah.
So either way, do you think Dan Quinn could change up the looks a little bit there?
I think so. I mean, because, Kirsch ain't going to be down there all 3 downs. He's not going to be in box all 3 downs. Somebody else is going to have to get their hands on these tight ends. So I'm thinking it's going to be the linebackers. But when 3rd down comes around, money down, you got to put your best cover guy on them. And right now, it seems to be Kirsch.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, don't make that mistake by trying to stick these guys together. They are going to test the second level of our secondary. And if we try to do this with the linebackers, there's going to be too much space out there because Henry, that boy's a dog.
And we've talked about this on some of the other DallasCowboys.com content, but you think they may even bring out some 13, 14 personnel.
Ooh, not the 14.
Which would be a little interesting. Cowboys haven't had to deal with that just yet. But when we come back here on Special Edition, Nate Newton's going to tell you why the Cowboys are going to win with his keys to the game for Week 6 against the Patriots.
This segment was brought to you by AT&T. Special Edition, presented by AT&T, was brought to you by Ford. Built for Texas, built for you. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. AT&T. And by NFL Game Pass. You'll never miss a game again. Enjoy full and condensed game replays from Week 1 to the Super Bowl. Subscribe at DallasCowboys.com/Game Pass.
Just one more game for the Dallas Cowboys prior to the bye week as they travel to New England looking to get to 5-1 and make it a 5-game win streak for the Cowboys. Isaiah Stanback, Barry Church, Nate Newton. I'm Kyle Yeomans wrapping things up here on Special Edition with Nate Newton, your keys to the game.
We need to stay balanced. We have to stay balanced. What I would like to see is Tony Pollard and Zeke in the backfield together. Make those linebackers, run them both out in wheel routes. Keep those linebackers off of your quarterback because if Judon and Bentley get free, they can hurt us. Now, they're going to try to stop the run game first. But, we bam them with Zeke, hit them with Tony outside, make them respect our tight ends and Schultz, and we'll be okay.
Yeah, I've said this the past couple weeks, and it's come to light. But this defense, we have got to continue to take the football away. We're doing a great job taking the ball away, getting it back to our offense. We're not out there too long. We're not getting tired too long out there, a couple 3-and-outs. We're taking the ball away. It's come to light for this defense. Keep it going, Diggs. Keep it going in the secondary. Parsons, go ahead and get you a sack force fumble as well. Can do nothing but help us out.
Yeah, Barry, let's take it away, but let's not give it away. Yes. We've been lucky over the last 2 weeks. We've had 6 potential turnovers where the balls kind of fell our way. So let's not get this out of hand. We don't need any reminiscence of last year.
Cowboys looking to increase their lead in the NFC East. It's a 3:25 kickoff. Tony Romo, Jim Nantz on the call on CBS. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. We'll see you next week on Special Edition.